Now, on to Shedeur Sanders, the topic of conversation. Everybody, one of the worst games he's played. Obviously, he hasn't had a ton of games as a pro, but had a rough game. Took some bad sacks, and it's created an incredible discourse online. You're either on one side of the fence or the other. You're saying he didn't get a fair shake of it, or you're saying he played behind the same offensive line that Huntley played behind, who led a 2-minute drive for the game-winning touchdown, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's somewhere in the middle.
Kevin Stefanski just dropped a bombshell that has the entire NFL world buzzing. And trust me, you won't believe what's going on behind closed doors in Cleveland right now. Reports say the Browns are already fielding trade calls for their most controversial draft pick, Shadur Sanders. The situation has gotten so tense that insiders are openly questioning Stefanski's handling of the rookie quarterback. Everyone expected Sanders to be the heir apparent, but instead, he's been pushed all the way down to 4th string. Think about that, 4th string, despite being the most talked about 5th-round pick in NFL history. And here's the kicker. NFL insiders are now saying a Sanders trade wouldn't surprise anyone. The drama unfolding in Cleveland could change everything we thought we knew about the Browns' quarterback future. I've been covering this league for years, and I've never seen a rookie quarterback spark this much controversy without even getting a real shot. We're talking about Deion Sanders' son here, a kid who was supposed to be Cleveland's future. But somewhere along the way, something went terribly wrong, and now the Browns are shopping him around like damaged goods.
He can be a good quarterback. He's a rookie. He's going to learn. Now, you can't make those plays that you did in college. You can't take those sacks. As Fitz and Witt always inform me and educate me, because I'm a defensive player, so I'm not thinking about the way a quarterback is maneuvering to make sure he's not throwing incompletions, or how the sacks that they're taking is affecting the offensive line but not affecting his QBR and completion percentage, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to have to get over that. And I think he's trying to make sure the numbers look like they're supposed to look like. But this is the National Football League. Let the ball go, live to fight another down, save the yards. And I think that's going to be the learning curve for him going forward, is that, hey, you can't protect your completion percentage and all that way. You're not going to be able to do it.
Let me paint you a picture of exactly what went down in that preseason game that may have sealed Shedur's fate in Cleveland. This wasn't just a bad outing. It was a complete disaster that left NFL scouts questioning everything they thought they knew about him. Shadur walked into that game with all the confidence in the world. You could see it in his eyes during warm-ups, the swagger he inherited from his father. But within just a few drives, reality smacked him like a freight train. And here's the wild part. This wasn't even Cleveland's starting offensive line. These were backups, guys who might not even make a practice squad, and still they got demolished. Here's where the controversy really starts. Browns fans are split. Some say the coaching staff set him up to fail, putting him behind 3rd-string linemen, giving him no protection, then yanking him out before he even got the chance to run the 2-minute drill every young quarterback dreams of. Others argue he played with the exact same unit that Tyler Huntley used to lead a game-winning drive. So, was it bad coaching or bad play? That's where things get messy.
It can come in and play. I don't know if they're going to do that. I think this is going to be the position. I mean, this is the point we've been waiting for, to see what they do with Shedeur Sanders, whether they trade him, whether they cut him, because keeping Ford is a head-scratching decision. I mean, even nowadays, keeping 3 active is a head-scratcher for a lot of teams, because roster spots are so valuable. So everybody has to be a contributor, whether it's on special teams, whether it's an offensive, defensive. You may be the 6th receiver and you're the punt returner, kick returner. Like, you have to have a role that you play and impact. A 4th-string quarterback being on the active roster, it's nothing to say about Shedeur. It just doesn't make roster sense in the NFL. It does not make sense. That's why they don't do it. Those are the practice squad quarterbacks who play the scout team. And usually still you don't keep 4, you keep 3. So this is new. This is interesting. I would think they would move him, get the draft pick, send him somewhere who would value him and need him more.
So which version is true? Honestly, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and way more complicated than anyone wants to admit. Here's what's really eating at Kevin Stefanski, and why he's finally breaking his silence. This isn't just about Shedur's performance, it's about the circus that follows him everywhere he goes. Think about it from Stefanski's perspective. You're managing a 53-man roster, and yet every single press conference, reporters are asking about your fourth-string quarterback. That's not normal. But when your fourth stringer is Deion Sanders' son, normal rules go out the window. And let's talk about those sacks for a second, because that's where Shedur's inexperience really showed. In college, you can hold the ball, extend plays, and protect your completion percentage. In the NFL, that's a death sentence. Every sack risks killing a drive, pushing your team out of field goal range, and signaling to coaches that you don't yet understand NFL tempo. One league insider told me Shadur was so focused on avoiding interceptions that he chose to take sacks instead of throwing the ball away. That might fly in college, but in the NFL, it's suicide. Now here's where this gets really interesting. Roster math. Keeping 4 quarterbacks is almost unheard of in today's NFL. Those roster spots are gold. You need guys who can play special teams or contribute in multiple ways. A fourth-string QB who doesn't even get practice reps? That's a luxury Cleveland can't afford. And if they cut him, forget it. He's not clearing waivers. Zero chance. Teams would line up to claim him. That's why a trade makes sense. Move him now, get a late-round pick, maybe even upgrade draft position. That's Stefanski's play. Privately, Stefanski still believes Shadur could become a good NFL quarterback. He's got the arm talent, the intelligence, the confidence. But he needs time, NFL time, that Cleveland just doesn't have. This roster is in win-now mode. Aging vets, expensive contracts, a championship window that's closing. They don't have the luxury of developing a project quarterback. And here's where it gets juicy. At least 3 teams have already made calls about Sanders. The Saints? Perfect fit. Veteran quarterback room, proven coaching, and a fan base that would embrace the Sanders name. The Raiders? They're rebuilding, have cap space, and Vegas thrives on storylines. And the dark horse? The Steelers. With their need to think about life after Big Ben, Sanders could quietly grow under one of the league's most stable organizations.
And do exactly what I said. He'd be on their practice squad or on their active roster. So I'm interested to see how that goes. There are people making a lot of noise about the offensive line he played against. Play behind. This is the NFL. That's what happens. That's what happens. You know, these guys at the end of a preseason, the third preseason game, these are likely the guys that are getting cut. Most of these guys, unless somebody does something incredible, there are receivers you can go for 200 yards and you're probably still getting cut. The decisions are likely already made. These are just guys getting a chance to put things on tape, audition for the other 31 teams that could potentially pick you up after you get cut, whether it's practice squad or active roster. It's an audition, but it's not like this is something really crazy. And I know people are like, man, he set him up for failure. I didn't understand not allowing him to do the 2-minute drill. I think that just might have been their rotation. They had a certain amount of plays that they wanted him to do. Then they wanted to give Huntley an opportunity before they cut him the next day. Those are things.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Deion Sanders himself. Trust me, Coach Prime is not happy. Sources close to the family say Deion feels the Browns never intended to give Shadur a real shot. That they drafted him for headlines, not for football. And when you look at how quickly he slid down the depth chart, how little preseason action he got, it's hard to argue he's wrong. Publicly, Deion has been diplomatic, but behind the scenes, he's been working his network, looking for a better situation for his son. And honestly, that might be the best move. The reality is this: Shedur's presence has become more of a liability than an asset in Cleveland. Every press conference, every game recap, every practice update turns into a Shadur debate. It's a distraction the team doesn't need. And it's not even his fault. He didn't ask for this spotlight. But in the NFL, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. What matters is results. Let's go back to those 3 sacks. Play 1, he had a clean pocket, open checkdowns, but held the ball too long. Sack, 8-yard loss. Play 2, pocket collapsed. Throw it away, but he tried to scramble and got caught. Sack, -6. Play 3, quick slant wide open, pressure closing in, and he froze. Sack again. That was the moment coaches started shaking their heads. In college, maybe you can extend those plays. In the NFL, you take what's there, protect the football, and live to fight another down. That's the gap Shadur is struggling to close. Here's the bottom line. Trading Shedeur Sanders is probably the best move for everyone. For the Browns, it clears roster space, kills the distraction, and adds a draft pick. For Shadur, it's a chance at a fresh start, real development, and less toxic expectations. His rookie contract is cheap, with team-friendly control and minimal guarantees. For another team, that's a low-risk, high-upside bet. At the end of the day, this isn't about villains or mistakes. Sometimes great players in great organizations just aren't the right fit. Stefanski knows it, Shedur's family knows it, and the league knows it. So, what do you think? Are the Browns smart to trade Shedeur Sanders now? Or are they giving up on a potential franchise quarterback too soon? And where do you think he'll land? Saints, Raiders, Steelers, or somewhere else? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you want to stay locked in on all the breaking NFL drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what happens next.